ho, it's me again, Disaster Santa. Shit, where's the purple Santa? Ho, 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 it's me again, Disaster Santa. It's that time again where we wait for that large, hairy man in the white and red to make his appearance. That's right, I'm talking about Big John Studd. Welcome to the Christmas special on Disaster Side Network for 2023. This is the NWOpening of the Big John Studd Legends Series 11 action figure. This is a really cool piece. I've had this a little bit over a year and it's really nice. I really like this one. So yeah, we're going to crack this open because, you know, this was the figure I'd settled on having a tenuous link to Christmas. I think it's a pretty good a good excuse. What do you guys reckon? But yeah, we've been wanting to open this for a while. The box isn't in the best of conditions anyway. That kind of got it cheaper because of that. You know, it's kind of a bit jacked up. So yeah, we're going to get into this one. So I think this was the first Legends figure I got as well, which makes it only fair that it's the first Legends figure I open, even though every other Legends figure I've been planning on doing the NWOpening for and then just never got around to. So turns out Big John Studd goes first anyway. So let's take a look. First of all, got the picture of John Studd in his garb on the front there. Of course, we've got the two interchangeable hands, the robe, and a True FX head as a nice little upgrade. We've got him on the side there with the Legends logo, and the same on the other side with the Elite logo. And on the back we can see the bio here. 6'10", 360 pounds. One of the true giants of his era. That's why he was teaming and then challenging Andre at various times. We can see the rest of the series on the box as well. We got Bam Bam. I would have absolutely picked this up, but I prefer WWF Bam Bam to ECW Bam Bam just in aesthetic alone. Still, before the Greatest Hits one came out, I would have absolutely loved this figure. The Scott Hall wasn't bad either. Of course, the John Studd was the main thing I wanted. Here's another one of these Legends figures that I always wanted the classic superstar of when I was a kid, but never got. And I couldn't get an Elite of him, and now we've got one. So he's yet another one of the Legends ticked off the list of figures I've always wanted. And the Macho wasn't bad either, but, you know, there are a million of them. So let's get into cracking this guy open, and we'll see what Christmas cheer he can bring. I mean, you can see there the box is just jacked up. Like I said already, we did get this a little bit cheaper because of the box condition. I actually waited a good few months to get this. It was on WrestleTrader's website. I think it was about 25. But the thing was, when I went to buy it, I found out that they had free shipping like the weekend before. And you know me, guys, I'm very tight. So I literally waited until they did free shipping again before I ordered it. So first of all, we've got the Legends backing card. Really nice piece, except it is horribly, it won't catch the light. Why won't it catch the light? It is horribly scuffed up there. So that's a bit of a shame, but now that we get Legends in the UK, we should get plenty of these. It shouldn't really be that much of a problem. Luckily, the robe is packed separate, so we don't have any problem with the dye running into the figure. This thing is huge. I mean, obviously it's Big John Studd, but like he is a big chunky boy. Yeah, we'll squish the bubble and get him out. I don't even know how to kind of squish around him. He takes up so much space in this thing. Like, oh, that's not good. Ooh, that probably wasn't the cleanest pull out of the bubble I've ever done. Dearie me. Okay. So there we go. There's our Big John Studd. We got him. He wants to stand up. And we got the interchangeable hands. They were a lot easier to get out than they seem to be on the more modern figures nowadays. And then finally we have the robe as well. So let's start off by having a closer look at the figure, or rather by me letting you have a closer look at the figure. You can see the True FX head there. It's a really strong likeness for stud. Like it's absolutely great, and it's kind of like the greatest hits line in that you can compare it to an earlier stud, and you can see how much more detail there is, even though it's like the exact same like general head look. We've got, of course, he's caked in chest and torso hair, which is really nice to see. On the side of the trunk, we have the 3 black stars on either side. David Bowie might be a black star, but Big John Studd is 3. And of course, we've got the red boots with the white lace on the bottom as well. Now, my immediate concern with this guy is that the joints seem a bit discombobulated, and hopefully that's more to do with how he had been packaged than what condition they are in. However, I have already noticed some dodgy joints, if you guys hadn't already. So yeah, let's get into the joint check and we'll see what we're working with. So the head I was a little bit skeptical of when I touched it a second ago, but the turn seems to be more or less okay. If he had a ginger beard, he would have a remarkable resemblance to me, wouldn't he, really? He's got the ginger hair. I mean, I don't think his hair really was that orange, but, it is what it... I mean, we can check. Yeah, he definitely looks more blue there, and Howard the Duck has just taken a dive for it. And if you haven't checked it out already, check out my Howard the Duck unboxing video, because it is one of the worst performing videos I've ever uploaded to any channel, ever. So this shoulder seemed pretty loose. Actually, it's not that bad, that one. I mean, it is a bit, like, it's not stiff in any way, but it's not that loose. It's not swinging about or anything. It is a case of the bicep can't quite turn because his body is so big, so you have to kind of lift it above his side there to actually get any turn out of that. So that's interesting. This was back in the single elbow days, but that elbow is very stiff, and that wrist is fine for now. But of course, it's an interchangeable hand, so that will change over time. That's what interchangeable means. This shoulder, on the other hand, I already know this is quite loose. That's really, like, that is right on the verge of being, like, completely loose. That is not ideal. This is not really a replaceable figure. Of all the NWOpenings, and this is 71, this is not the one where I would have wanted a nice, loose shoulder. Not that you want it on any of them, but, that's a bit of a shame. That elbow's pretty loose as well. Look at that. He's got that. Well, let's not talk about what action that looks like. The wrist, on the other hand, the interchangeable hand is pretty stiff for now. As I said earlier, he's kind of stuck with having his arms out like that because not only do the biceps not go any flatter to the body, but you can't even kind of like turn them in or anything. So yeah, he is kind of just stuck having his arms out like that. The torso joint, it could be better, it could be worse. That's fine, really. The waist, again, could be better, could be worse. It's just crazy looking at this figure from behind and just seeing like how much action figure you're actually getting out of this. Like it's so big. If we look at the if we compare, like, if we do like a size comparison, he's so much bigger, he's so much wider. It's crazy. Now that's value for money. So let's take a look at the leg. That's fine. That knee is fine. Oh, it's like he's doing a dainty little gallop through the fields. He's having a nice little canter. Boot cut's fine. And the toe doesn't really move. And that leg is fine. That knee is fine. That boot cut is fine. And the toe doesn't really move. I was a little bit concerned about the legs when we got him out of the packaging because he wasn't really standing up properly, but I think they were just a little bit misaligned, really. I think that probably just had more to do with where each joint was in the leg, like in the package, than anything about the actual leg joints. Of course, we've got those interchangeable hands. We've got some open grip hands, which you guys know I like to see. But it's ironic because Legends are like just not the kind of figures where you need like the open hands, and yet they still have them. They can still wield stuff, which is good. You didn't get a lot of weapon usage in the Golden Era, but they managed to get the open hands. So Makes you wonder why there have been so many figures over the years that don't have any, especially Jeff Hardys and people that are known for using weapons and whatnot. Let's take a look at the robe. Yep, just as I thought. I was thinking earlier, if you take a look at the robe, he has the Big John Stud embroidery on the shoulder there. And I thought, I don't remember seeing that on the figure, and it certainly is not there. But we've not yet looked at this on, so why not? Let's pop him in his dressing gown. You know, because of that arm thing, it's actually, again, it's really not the easiest thing in the world to get on. There's not a lot of like leeway down there, you know. I think that arm is backwards now. Thankfully, there's oh, Mattel, I owe you an apology. It was folded over. There's the logo, and it looks really nice. It looks brilliant. So what is the crack there? Oh, right. So rather than, I thought it was like folded over at the collar, but it's actually a case of like that bit is turned out and then it folds in like that, if you get my meaning. So I can see why I was confused there. I can see why I was incorrect as well. Let's just seal him up. We'll wrap him up like a present. I don't particularly care for that robe string, that drawstring. It's very similar to like the usual ones, but it's just a bit less kind of like materially, like a bit more stiff, a bit more rigid, a bit more starchy. But there we go. I've joked about him being a present. I've joked about him being Santa Claus, but now he truly is everyone's dad on Christmas Day who's not getting ready, sat in his bathrobe on the sofa watching you open your presents. And isn't that what Christmas is all about? Let's just get one more close-up of that. It's actually a little bit too high, unless I can maybe, like, there's not really any way to kind of bring that collar over a little bit more, but it's actually a little bit too high. It's like right on his shoulder, so, you know, by and large, you can't really see it. I don't know, I've been wrong about this thing once, though. Maybe I can get that round. It kind of just looks like it's getting, you know, this side is getting shorter. I don't know, whatever. Let's get into a review. Like I say, I've wanted a Big John Stud figure the entire time that I have watched wrestling. So I would probably have taken this in any form it came in. And there's only so much variation you can get with Big John Stud. He didn't really wear a massive variety of attires. So quite honestly, the fact that we've got the True FX head, the fact that it does actually have the Big John Stud logo on the shoulder, and the fact that, you know, we've got the interchangeable hands, the robe is really nice. We have the robe at all, you know, they could have just left that out. I think it's a brilliant figure, and I'm really doubtful that we'll be seeing another John Stud anytime soon, but I think for this one in particular, I think it's a really good figure. Now, I am a little bit devastated that those dodgy joints are in there. I feel like we've had a lot better luck with joints recently with the more new figures, but I guess, you know, when we go back to the older ones, maybe we're going to get some more loose ones. Like I say, if I was going to have these dodgy joints in a figure, Big John Stud would not have been the one I would have chosen, but it is what it is. We'll have to work around it. Now, what I like to do to finish my figure unboxings is talk about what this guy's going to be doing in my figure fed. Now, I'm a massive fan of Big John Stud, if you hadn't noticed anyway. He's one of those people that all my life, all my wrestling watching life, I've just thought that guy is cool and I like him. And honestly, I feel like he is one of the most underrated Golden Age wrestlers of all time. Like, he really didn't get to do all that much. You know, he teamed with Andre, he feuded with Andre. He was kind of ripe for being a Hogan enemy or something, you know, like a giant guy who Hogan could like beat in the final hour. You know, he was like cherry picked. He was like handcrafted for that purpose. So in my fed, I would like to give him more of a run. I would like to see him probably with a title, maybe a bit of IC title action. He's probably going to run the same kind of relationship with Andre, where he's kind of friends one minute, enemies the next. We'll sort of see where we go with that. And I guess, you know, I don't have any clear-cut storyline plans for him, but he's definitely a guy who's going to be around. He's probably going to be doing some pretty good stuff. So that being said, this brings us to the end of the unboxing video and the end of the Christmas special. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please do like, comment, and subscribe if you did, and let me know what you thought of this. And check out the NWOpenings playlist in the end screen if you'd like to see some more. And if I don't see you guys again beforehand, have a Merry Christmas. And if you're seeing this after Christmas, well, have a Merry Christmas anyway. Have a Merry Christmas whatever year you're watching this video in. This has been DSW Network. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in. So thank you all for watching, and goodbye.